Welcome, everyone. In this video, we're going to talk a little bit about healthy boundaries and self-disclosure. Specifically, what are some reasons why you might not want to do so much self-disclosure? And of course, there's a lot of possible reasons for this. As helpers in the helping field, we work in a lot of different settings, different types of agencies that help people. Some of us are therapists, some of us are substance use counselors, some of us are peer advocates, and all of those different positions and different agencies may demand different expectations around our own personal boundaries and sharing our own information. So there's a lot of factors going on here that we could have a very long video describing all of those. But what I wanted to talk about a little bit with you now is one very specific reason to consider when you are thinking about, should I share this bit of personal information with my client? And so let me share my screen. And so when we are thinking about sharing our own personal information with a client, our intentions tend to be very good. We are hoping to build rapport, build the relationship, demonstrate openness and cooperation. And those are all really great intentions. So sharing personal information about ourselves does not usually come from a bad or inappropriate place. Not at all, quite the opposite. But something to consider, it's about confidentiality of your information as the therapist, as the provider, or the helper. Think about your setting. And typically, if you're working in a helping profession, especially if you are in the mental health or substance use world, there are specific federal and state confidentiality laws that we have to follow for our clients' information, right? So as a provider, Jennifer, I cannot come home and tell my friend Marcy all about the client that I had that day, right? I can't do that. It's against the law. So I would be breaking laws. I would be breaking ethical standards. I can't do that in my practice. And in our world of helping, we can get very used to that idea that what's said in the session stays in the session, or what is said in a therapy group or a therapy setting or milieu, it stays there. That is absolutely true for client information. We have ethical and legal obligations that we are bound to that prevent us from sharing client information. However, there are absolutely no legal or ethical standards enforced on clients for making sure they don't share our personal information. There may absolutely be standards in your facility or your agency that say you should never share personal information about other people outside of here. Those standards may exist. But if a client hears you share something, let's do an example. Okay, let's say that I'm a provider and I'm going through a divorce. Okay, it happens to a lot of us, right? So let's say I mention that. There's nothing I can do to stop that client I shared it with, to stop them from telling their family, their friends, other people that work in the agency, my supervisors, my managers, co-workers, other clients, every person on Facebook, everyone on social media. They could blast the information everywhere, and there's absolutely nothing that I can do about it. They haven't broken any laws. They're not held to any ethical codes. So remember, clients do not have to keep our personal information confidential. It might be the agency expectation that everything in the building said is confidential, but when push comes to shove, they're not breaking any laws, and they are not under any ethical codes that say they can't share our information. So as the therapist or the helper, we're expected to follow confidentiality laws and regulations. The client does not have any such obligation. So the bottom line is, if you are considering sharing personal information about yourself with a client, one question to ask yourself before the words leave your mouth, ask yourself, am I comfortable with everyone in the entire world knowing this information about me? Is it really okay with me if, let's take the divorce example, if my coworkers know about my divorce, if my managers know, if my supervisor knows, if the owner of the company knows, if everybody on Facebook knows, if everyone in social media knows, is that okay with me? I can't answer that question for you. That's a very individual question, but it's a great question for you to be asking yourself when you're thinking about sharing personal information. So I'm not here to tell you what to do or how much to share, but I am here to give you some guidelines and ideas for helping you make great decisions for yourself and your own practice. So I really hope that this was helpful. If you're liking these videos and they're helpful to you, please subscribe and click the bell to get some updates. You can also visit us online if you're curious about our upcoming live trainings for continuing education, our on-demand trainings for continuing education, agency trainings for your agency, or if you want to look at our free resources page that has all kinds of great free information for you to help you in your practice. So that website is www.pacificcrestclinical.com. And I will see you all next time. Thanks.